Hello, Catalina. Lovely to see you here today. Perhaps we could start by you just telling us what your current role is and your job title.
Hi, Fiona. I am the Manager of Admissions and External Relations at the American International School of Bucharest.
Brilliant. Good. It's lovely to have you here today. Now,
Thank
two
you.
essential areas that our parents and employers and relocation professionals need to know are about admissions and then also about parents and what they need to be supported. So I know these are your particular specialist areas. So let's just start with the one that that all parents need to know. So as an admissions expert, what do parents really need to know before they can make their school choice and apply? And then also if you can just give them a quick checklist of what they need to have at their fingertips.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. I think before saying anything about any checklist or what they need to do, it's very important to for parents to make sure that they reach out and get informed about schools in the area that they're moving to before they do anything else. Because whether your child is going to be happy or not in the school is going to make or break your experience, regardless of how wonderful the company is, of how great the job, or how beautiful the house. So many times in my work in admissions, I've witnessed heartbreaking situations where we, for example, were not able to service the child, or were not able to offer a place in a class. And unfortunately, the family had already signed a contract with the company and they were now in a bind that was quite difficult to navigate. So make sure that you treat this as a priority, as your child's education is a priority, not just for your child, but also for the family. So there are 4 things that I want to encourage parents to do to be well prepared for choosing the right school, as much as we can make a choice, by being remote from the school, not within the community. First of all, they should do their homework. So nowadays we live in a world where we have tons of information online, not just on the website, but also in parent forums, through maybe the relocation companies that you get in touch in the country that you're moving to, or even your HR firm, former colleagues. So do your homework, get information as much as possible, especially in the areas of interest for your child, or of support if that's needed. Number 2, and this is something that's quite amazing to me, that I have parents who apply without seeing the school. Always ask to see the school, whether in person or virtually. Once again, this situation that we are living now has given way to so many technologies. Ask to see the school, and when you do, turn off your phone, be present, be there, listen, take advantage of that opportunity, and pay attention, not only to what you're seeing, but how the atmosphere around. Look at the children if you can. I mean, ask to see the school when it's in session, to see the kids. Are they happy? Are they engaged? Do they have friends? Just be observant. Number 3, very important, to the degree that you are able, given his or her age, involve your child. At the moment when you are able to talk to your child about this move, or about the potential of moving to another school, try to understand what are his or her worries or expectations. If you can, bring the child along to the tour, maybe the second one. Any school that is committed to service you well should be able to offer you 2, 3, 4 meetings according to your needs. And last but not least, if you want a checklist, some of the things that are always going to be asked of you are school reports, usually for not just the past year. So you might want to start creating a file when you know that, okay, maybe a transfer is approaching. So you might want to start creating a file with school records, to email teachers that know your child and his needs very well for references, And of course, have your ID papers in order. And also, if there are any kind of other documents that might be relevant, make sure you have them there. And in that respect, I just want to say a word to parents of children with special needs. Don't delay the response that you get from the school that you're going to by not offering all of the information. If you have any kind of psychoeducational reports or any kind of individualized educational plans, please send them to the school, because that way they will be able to give you a more specific answer much quicker, other than just tens of emails back and forth. How about this? How about that? And then, oh, I remembered I have this document. So the more prepared you are, and the more you pay attention during the actual interview, the more chances you have that you make a good choice for your child's education and set yourself for success as a family wherever you're going.
Brilliant. Well, that's really sound advice. And that replies not only to people looking for schools in Europe and Romania, Bucharest, where you are, but all over the world. It's pretty
all
universal,
over
any region. So thank you. That's excellent.
You're very welcome.
Now then, a little more not interesting, but relevant coming up is the parents and how important a parent liaison is. And I understand you have that role, and particularly when COVID is so forward in people's minds, knowing that there is somebody that they can count on. So I think that's you.
I hope that's me. Yeah.
That sort of role and how that's developing.
Thank you for that question. I feel that's so important, both as a school representative and as a parent. My son is in 7th grade. And I've been in the admissions office for almost 2 decades. And if there's one thing that I can say without a doubt, is that I can see the difference in success and in growth between the kids whose parents are partnering with the school and the kids whose parents aren't. But we're not taking the kids from the parents and just kind of minding them and then giving them back. We're entering a partnership, and it's even more relevant now when parents have become partners in teaching, not necessarily because they wanted to, but because they had to. So it's extremely important. It's this kind of red line that always has to be a line that always has to be open. That way, schools shouldn't have anything to hide. So they should always be available to talk to parents. And when parents have that openness, they worry less and they are able to be involved more constructively. So maybe coming up with ideas or participating in different activities. Right after this meeting, I have a new invented meeting called Ask Me Anything. It's actually just a cup of coffee with whoever parent wants to join. And we're talking about anything from, how do I order food from the cafeteria today, or who's the transportation company representative, to where do I go in Bucharest for holidays because I'm not leaving, or just how are you? And I think that's very important, especially in a community where you have people coming from all over the world. That let's not forget the fact that families who've just transferred or are expats in the country have a very hard time during lockdowns. And before the pandemic, the school used to function as a community where, that's where you form your connections. If that disappeared 90% because we're not in campus anymore, we need to find ways to maintain it in any other way, because these people can get quite lonely, and that will affect their entire experience in the country. So schools are extremely important in creating this relationship.
So you're talking now about online. This is an online virtual reach out to parents that you're doing. Yes. So that's a wonderful initiative. And I think quite a lot of schools are doing something similar. So we'd urge all parents to take that up, even if their children have been in the school a long time.
Oh, definitely. It's replacing, if you want, the water cooler talk. We used to be able to, we have a cafe in the middle of the atrium at the school. Obviously, that's now been discontinued, but it used to be buzzing. And so, we started from the idea of, we really miss that. How are you guys? And so sometimes we just sit there and talk nonsense, but it's about the presence. It's not about the topics that much.
And when the school is open and back to normal, what sort of things are there that families can engage with? I know a lot of international schools have an international day, for example.
Oh, yes, international day. We are now around the time of Thanksgiving, so we are running what we call a harvest festival, trying to go a bit more global in terms of a potluck kind of dinner. We run a gala for a scholarship fundraising, and have monthly parent and leadership team coffees or teas. Offer the parents the possibility to meet in country groups. That's very important, to reach out to the ones who speak your language, know your traditions, cook the same food. And of course, International Day, which is the crown jewel, so to speak, an amazing thing that I hope we come back to very, very soon, because we miss it.
And when do you normally hold your International Day? Is that the end of the academic year?
In May.
Brilliant.
Spring.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to hearing all about those wonderful celebrations. So thank you for the great work you do, and those wonderful ideas for parents of how they can become a true partner with the school and part of the community. Thank you.
You're very welcome,
Catalina.
You're very welcome.